Touchdown, Hurts, go, Birds, go, Birds, go, Birds, go, Birds, put in work, put in work, put in work, touchdown, Hurts.
I saw Nina in the chat, so I had to play. What up, girl?
Victory! Woo!
Yeah, whenever Nina's in the chat, we do that for her. But yeah, y'all, welcome to Broad Street. Welcome to episode 247. Welcome to another off-season edition of Birds Broad Street with your boy, Luke Connor, Simone Staley, One Trey Rock, and Smitty Eagle. It should be conference edition. It should be a conference championship edition of Birds of Broad Street, but hey, what do I know? All right, what up, Rock the Artist, William, Nina? It should be a NFC championship edition, but hey, what do I know, right? What do I know? Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, like, subscribe, or comment. Birds of Broad Street YouTube channel, all of our channels, man. Me, Simone, One Trey Rock, Smitty Eagle. Yeah. Instead of searching for that next NFC championship or Super Bowl, yeah. Yes, it is, Mike. The word of the day is search. The Philadelphia Eagles are searching. They still continue to search for the new OC. So let's break it down because I got the OC list right here. We got multiple people with the OC list, so let's see which one do I want. Let's start with this one. Okay? Let me make this bigger. These are the men. Hopefully we're good. Hopefully we're good. Anyway, these are the men that the Eagles are interviewing or in discussion for. We got Bobby Schultz. We got Bucks OC. All right. Read them and small to see. So we got, I got to make it bigger. Only for Mike Green, apparently. I got to make it bigger. Hopefully it's bigger now, Mike. Pause. Hold on. There. Hopefully now it's big enough for you, Mike. And for all you guys, okay. That's better. All right. Put your glasses on, man. Put your glasses on. Anyway, we got Bobby Schultz. We got Bucks OC Josh Grizzard. We got Brian Daboll. We got Mike McDaniels, Bob Cougar, Jim Bob Cougar, Mike Kafka, Zach Robinson, and Ole Miss OC Charles Wilson Jr. So let me start by saying my candidates, and I wish the game was here with me so we could talk about this. But, busy bees. Right? My candidate, I like Brian Daboll, and I also like Mike McDaniels. Right? Let me see. I think. Yeah. So I want to know from y'all, out of these guys, which one is your favorite? Who, out of these guys, in your honest opinion, who should be the OC? Because for me, I like Mike McDaniel and I like Brian Daboll. Right? I like Brian Daboll, but I also like Mike McDaniel. Those are my two that I would like. Anybody else is uncivilized. But I want to know from y'all. Let me read the comments. Y'all let me know. Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you there. If Nick Sirianni is as smart, and I trust Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie, to be honest with you. Maine, did y'all see what Falcons did? Yeah. Your Dayball or McDaniels, forget the rest. We don't need, exactly. If you round it down to two, Dayball is better because he worked with Jalen Collins. Yeah. And he also knows Saquon. So, excuse me. And he also knows Saquon. So, I'm with you there. By the way, what did the Falcons do? Get the Kevin Stefanski? I know. So these are the names that we have. But again, I'm going to say this again. Brian Daboll or Mike McDaniels. And if you guys say Charles Wheeler Jr., fine. Right? Fine. Just bring in the best. Yeah, man.
Newly added to the list is former Tampa Bay Buccaneers offensive coordinator Josh Brizard. The Eagles are also interviewing former Houston Texans offensive coordinator and former Miami Dolphins passing game coordinator Bobby Slowick. Howie Roseman and Nick Sirianni said they wanted to cast a wide net when it came to their offensive coordinator search.
Yep.
And so far, that's what they are doing.
Right.
As of right now, there has been no interview scheduled between the Philadelphia Eagles and former Miami Dolphins head coach Mike McDaniels. The other 4 offensive coordinator interviews for the Philadelphia Eagles include former New York Giants head coach Brian Daboll.
Yep.
Brian Daboll was the offensive coordinator with Jalen Hurts at Alabama in 2017. And Nick Sirianni was the wide receiver coach under Brian Daboll when he was the offensive coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs.
I'm listening to Mom.
Former New York Giants offensive coordinator and former Eagles quarterback Mike Kafka has also gotten an interview, along with former Indianapolis Colts offensive coordinator and former assistant under Nick Sirianni with the Eagles, Bob Cooter. And the Eagles' first reported offensive coordinator interview again was former Falcons offensive coordinator Zach Robinson.
Yeah. I would take Cooker. Yeah. I'm with you. Again, if Nick Sirianni is as smart as he is, very smart, like smart in the head, right? Very smart in the head. Then what he needs to do is pick Daniels or Brian Daboll or even Charles Wells Jr. and get it over with. If it's Daboll, welcome to the team. But do it already. What's taking so long to make the announcement? I get it. You got to search for the new people, but
the Philadelphia Eagles now have 6 reports.
I get it. You got to search for the people, and I understand that. But if it's Daboll, say it. And also sign Daboll to a 5-year deal. If Daboll is the case, sign Daboll to a 5-year deal. By the way, while we're doing this, and we're going to be talking a lot, make sure y'all hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, like, subscribe, and comment. Birds of Broad Street YouTube channel, all of our channels. Everybody is in the building. We got 2 people on my X. We got 8 on Smitty's, 6 on mine, 1 on Smitty's YouTube channel, 5 on Moan, and 1 on B.O.B.S. Let's get them likes up on all the channels. And that's the thing, too, as I'm looking at this list. Stop hiring. I love Nick Sirianni. I love Nick Sirianni to the death of me. Stop signing in-house. I love Nick Sirianni. Stop signing in-house. Nobody asked you to choose Brian Johnson. Brian Johnson was an okay hire, I guess. But outside of him, it was 2023. It wasn't really Brian Johnson's issue. It was a defensive issue, but okay. But not Kellen Moore. That guy we fired. Kevin Batula. That was bad. Like, why hire him to begin with? After the Super Bowl, you should have just did a search. I know you won the Super Bowl. Jalen freaking Hurts, Super Bowl MVP. Love Hurts hoodie. Shout out to my guy Rashid. But damn. What you should have done is hired Kellen Moore to a 5-year deal. Because if you did that, you wouldn't be on this damn search. Exactly. It gotta be somebody. One of these guys. It gotta be someone that don't want to leave. YouTube. That's my only issue. It gotta be someone that don't want to leave. That's my only thing. This person don't want to leave. In other words, he can't be a head coach. Y'all see what I'm saying? Right. That's my only issue. Because every time we have success, they leave. And that's my only issue. Every time they have success, they leave. Right? Right. If you would have think about this, y'all. If you would have hired a good offensive coordinator. Yeah, I know. But if you sign a good offensive coordinator, right? If you would have signed him after you won the Super Bowl, you wouldn't be in this position. Think about that. Love this organization. Love this team. But if you didn't, if you had just hired an offensive coordinator after you won it all, you wouldn't be in this position. Right or wrong? You would not be in this position if you would have signed an offensive coordinator after you won the Super Bowl. Why didn't you? Right? You waited. And because you waited, now we're doing this. Because you waited and you hired from within, now we got this. Right? Now we got this. So my thing for Nick Sirianni, as you're searching for this, find Brian Daboll or Charles West Jr. or even Brian Daboll. Make sure that when you find them, they don't become head coaches. That's my only thing. They cannot be head coaches. Because every time they do, they leave. And Jalen has to deal with another offensive coordinator. And we can't have that. So, for me, as we're on the search for an offense coordinator, these are the three guys that I would choose. I would choose number one, this guy. Now, this guy right here, I like. I like Brian Daboll. And here's why. I like Brian Daboll because he knows Jalen Hurts and he knows Saquon Barkley. He knows Jalen freaking Hurts and he knows Saquon Barkley. That's why I would pick him. Now, it would be wise for the Philadelphia Eagles to sign him to a deal now. And here's why. Because Buffalo. Well, Buffalo. If y'all were living under a rock, the Buffalo Bills has fired Sean McDermott. The Buffalo Bills has fired Sean McDermott. And that should not be good because I want Brian Daboll to be the offensive coordinator. But don't think for 1 second that he doesn't want to be a head coach. Right? We all know that Brian Daboll would want to be a head coach. It's up to the Philadelphia Eagles to make him an offer he can't refuse and sign him now. Because we all know. Joe Brady. Hold on, let me see. Let me see who he is. Joe. I spelled it wrong. Joe Brady. Let me see. Oh, if Joe Brady is not a part of the Buffalo Bills anymore, sign him. Simple. If Joe Brady, what's your thoughts on him? I'm going to ask y'all this. Joe Brady, y'all think that's a good one? I want to know from y'all. Before I get my thoughts, let me hear from the crew. Let me hear from the family. Joe Brady. Y'all okay with Joe Brady? Because if that's the case, then the Eagles know what to do. Hold on. I'm still here, though. I just, hold on. Let me. Jim Bob Cooler just texted me and said, stop doing this and get a job. Okay. I don't know who you are, but okay. I don't know. Anyway, Joe Brady, sign him if you can. If you can. But you got to have an interview with him. You can't just snatch him. You can't just snatch him. You got to go grab. You got to have an interview with him. Because he's still with Buffalo. He didn't get fired yet. He didn't get fired yet, did he? Did Joe Brady get fired yet, y'all? Y'all let me know. Because if that's the case, the Eagles got to have an interview with him. Right? If Joe Brady is fired already, then you got to have an interview with him. That's how it works, right? Simple. It's Did they fire Joe Brady? Because I'm looking on X right now. Then if you want him as the head coach, you better have that interview with him. If you want that man as the head coach of your not the head coach, the offense coordinator, you better have an interview with him now. Because here's the thing, we're close to the Senior Bowl. We're close to free agency. We're close. They got to do something because we're almost at the Senior Bowl and free agency. An off-season workout will begin. And then here comes the draft. The regular season will be here before you know it. So if I'm the Philadelphia Eagles, what we waiting for? What we waiting for? Yeah, it's like, what we waiting for? I know what I mean? What are we waiting for? I get it, but what are we waiting for? Like, it shouldn't take this long for the OC to get here. It's like, what we doing? Right. Right. No, you're good. That's all I'm asking. It's like, what are we waiting for? We should already have the OC already in. Because think about it. Mike McDaniel, let's go over here. Let's go over this. Brian Daboll, he's gonna be. He probably wants to be a head coach. They might snatch him up. Who else? This one right here. Mike McDaniel. Let me talk about Mike McDaniel. Do y'all see? The Lions are stupid. Y'all know who the Lions picked as an OC, right? Y'all saw who the Lions picked as an OC, right? Y'all know who the Lions pick at the OC, right? Hold on, let me see. Because the Lions picked somebody as an OC. What's his name? Nina, you know who I'm talking about. Who the Lions picked? The Lions chose their OC already. Hold on, let me go to Jim. Hold on. Lions OC. Yeah, let me go to my bookmark real quick, and I'm gonna show y'all exactly who the OC is for the Detroit Lions and why the Eagles desperately need to get on the phone and call either Mike McDaniel or Brian Daboll. The Lions are hiring former Arizona Cardinal OC Drew Pezzing as their new offensive coordinator per Ian Rappaport and Tom Pelissero. An expensive search led Dan Campbell to an experienced play caller for his offense. And this is the guy. This is the guy who the Detroit Lions picked as their OC. This is who the Detroit Lions picked as their new OC. They didn't pick Daboll. They didn't pick hey Daniel. They didn't pick Daboll or Mike McDaniel. Detroit Lions picked this guy. Y'all see what I'm saying? Y'all understand what I'm saying? Of course. Hey, got this, man. I mean it. Nick Sirianni better think about who he wants. Because look who the fuck the Detroit Lions picked. Okay? Yeah, let's talk about that. Y'all basically run the show on Birds of Broad Street. So whatever question you have, I normally answer. Y'all basically run the show. No. Contrary to popular beliefs, no, you don't trade AJ Brown. No. Exactly. No, you don't trade AJ Brown. No. You let him and Jalen figure it out, and you keep it pushing. No, you don't trade AJ Brown. What's up? Yeah, AJ Brown ain't going nowhere. We gotta stop thinking that he's going. AJ Brown ain't going nowhere. Okay? Got 28 people up in here talking birds. Shout out. Right. Oh, unless AJ Brown says something different, I don't believe it. Right? Unless AJ Brown says something different and he says something about this, I don't believe it. I gotta hear from AJ. You know? I'm a guy is I want to hear it from the horse's mouth. In other words, if AJ Brown didn't say it, what's the point? You know, what's the point? You know? Right. If AJ didn't say it, I don't believe it. That's where I stand. Right. I want to hear it from the horse's mouth. If AJ Brown don't say it, didn't say a word about it, then I don't believe it. Because let's face it, let's say you do trade AJ Brown. Okay, Devontae Smith's number one. Okay, let's say we do trade AJ Brown and Devontae Smith number one. Who's going to be number two? Y'all trust Jahan Dotson being number two? Y'all trust Jahan Dotson? I'm asking for a friend. Y'all trust Jahan Dotson? I want Mike McDaniel or Brian Daboll. I want to know, do you trust Jahan Dotson to be number two? Because they're going to cover Smitty. They're going to cover Smitty. But do y'all trust Jahan Dotson to be that number two if we do trade AJ? That's the question. And then if we get a number two in the draft, he's going to be a rookie. That's the thing. You either trust Jahan Dotson, if we do trade AJ, you either trust Jahan Dotson or you trust the rookie. A rookie who got to know how Jalen flows, who got to know the coaching staff. And not only that, that's a cap hit that you're going to have to eat from AJ. So I want y'all to think about that. Do you trust Jahan Dotson, a rookie, and Howie Roseman to create some cap space? Because once AJ Brown is traded, if he is, that's some cap hit that we got to eat. Okay, if it ain't Brian Daboll, give me Mike McDaniel. Get Mike McDaniel. Because everybody say, trade AJ. Be careful what you wish for. I also think we need more depth on the offensive side of the ball, offensive line. Because I talked about this yesterday, right? I talked about this yesterday on the Jalen Freaking Hurts podcast. We need to fix the offensive line. I talked about this yesterday on the Jalen Freaking Hurts podcast. We gotta fix the offensive line. Because can someone explain this to me? Right. Yeah. No, it ain't Cam Jurgen. It's this. One person in the offensive line goes down or is out, and we don't know what the hell we're doing, apparently. Think about who I'm talking about. One person goes down on the offensive line, and the offensive line and Jalen and Saquon and we don't know what we're doing. Yeah, Lane. I love Lane. He goes down one time and we don't know what the heck we're doing. Yeah, I love Lane Johnson. Lane Johnson, my guy. Yeah, it's not Cam Jurgen I'm worried about. Yeah, but here's my thing. Think about this. And I'm going to talk about this right here, right now, because I feel though it needs to be talked about. And I think, we got lots of things to draft about. But this is why I say O-line. 2016. It was the game, I think it was the Washington Commanders, what I talked about. Right? Where Lane Johnson gets suspended for like 10 games. And we went 2-8. We was basically 3-1 before going 2-8 when Lane Johnson got suspended. Right? Fast forward to now. And sure, it was basically the whole offense and Kevin Batullo. But Lane Johnson gets injured or goes down. And what game that happened? Exactly. And this is what I'm saying. Lane Johnson gets suspended for like 10 games in 2016. 2-8. This year, I think Lane Johnson goes down. I don't know when he went down. No, that was the 7-9 season in 2016. 7-9 season in 2016. Yeah, because I'm talking about that because it brings my point. Lane Johnson goes down, especially during the playoffs, and we don't know what we're doing. Think about that. Think about that. Now, granted, we had an offensive coordinator that didn't know what he was doing, but it would have helped if we had Lane Johnson in some of these games. How many games did Lane Johnson miss in 2025? Right. He missed like 10 games. Yeah, no, I know. I'm talking. I'm talking about in this season, Mike. How many games he missed? Because it's basically the same as 2016. What up, Michael? Exactly. Look at that. Yeah, he played in almost all these games. Yeah, right. Because he played versus the Cowboys, the Chiefs, the Rams, the Bucks. I think Denver, uh, the Giants twice, Minnesota, Green Bay, and Detroit. But he didn't play. Right. Yeah, he played 10 games. I'm looking right at it. What I'm saying is he didn't play versus the Cowboys. Think about this. He didn't play versus the Cowboys. He didn't play against the Bears. He didn't play versus the Chargers. I'm just talking about the three of the games he missed. Right? Those 3 games, if he would have played, could we what could we would if he would have played in those 3 games, would we win those games? I don't know. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, right? But at least we would have had a chance. You see what I'm saying? At least in those games, we would have had a chance. Right? At least we would have had a chance. That's what I'm trying to say. And this is what I'm trying to say. Lane Johnson being out is bad enough. You offense coordinator and Nick Sirianni didn't know what the heck they doing. That's what I'm saying. O-line. Yes, the corners. Yes, this. Yes, that. Y'all let me know. Y'all let me know about A.J. Brown. I'll be right back. Y'all think We can get the corner. Yeah. Yeah, man. I would get it. Whatever. All I'm going to say, the Philadelphia Eagles got a lot of work to do. Not a lot of time to do it. Because we're already in January. February. It'll be quiet in February. Right? Right now, we're in a quiet period with the Philadelphia Eagles outside of searching for a new offensive coordinator. Right? Outside of finding a new offensive coordinator, it's a quiet period for the Philadelphia Eagles. Right? But then March will be here. Free agency. The Senior Bowl is probably right around the corner. So there's that. But March will be here. April will be here. March is free agency. April is off-season programs or off-season workouts. Right? And the draft. Of course, you got the schedule. We got to figure out who we playing week 1. Then there's OTAs. And then, of course, mandatory minicamp. And then training camp. And then preseason. We ain't got a lot of time left. We got to do something now. Yeah, Chip Kelly, I hated him. So if I'm the Philadelphia Eagles, time ain't on our side. It really ain't. You ain't got time to be messing around. You got to find an offensive coordinator now. Because time is ticking. Time is ticking. We're already in January. It's January the 19th. We're getting close to February. February is basically a quiet period. We know this. Oh, wait. But not just wait. We also got the combine. I forgot about the combine. So we ain't got time to waste. Find your offensive coordinator now. Don't wait. Don't wait till Mike McDaniel or Brian Daboll or somebody like that. Right? Don't wait till they get popped up. Find them now. Don't wait. Because if one of them guys snatch up and we be like Detroit grabbing Nicky, Ricky, Dickie, and Dawn, all I'm going to say is there was pitchforks and knives. When we got eliminated, you bring in Nicky, Ricky, Dickie, and Dawn as the OC. Exactly. Oh, and one more thing before I go, right? Before I end the show, I want to talk to the best fan base in the world, right? Because I know right now it's tough watching the postseason. It's tough, right? It's tough watching the postseason, right? You seen there all these teams in the conference championship, and you sitting there just watching. My final message to y'all is be thankful that unlike the Bills, unlike the Chargers, unlike the Panthers, unlike the 49ers, who still got to wait, unlike the Steelers, unlike all these teams that got eliminated. Yes, you got eliminated too. You're in Cancun, and you have every right to be mad. But be thankful that last year happened. Be thankful that last year happened. Okay? Be thankful that last year happened, that you got to witness Jalen freaking Hurts and the Birds win a Super Bowl. Okay? I know it's tough. I know you're pissed. I have every right to be. But be thankful you watched it last year. Because if that didn't happen and we was in this exact same position, Lord. Okay? So that's the first thing. And the second thing is, and I'm going to say it till the cows come home, don't stop rocking your Eagles gear. I'm going to say it again. Okay? Don't stop rocking your gear. Don't stop repping your Birds. There's teams out there that push their gear in the closet and they don't want to wear it. Look at me. I'm rocking the Love Hurts hoodie. Shout out to my guy Rashid. I'm rocking the Love Hurts hoodie. Shout out to my guy Rashid. I still rep my team 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365. I got Eagles stuff on the wall. I still, good, bad, or indifferent, and he got lots to work on too, but I still acknowledge Jalen freaking Hurts as my franchise quarterback. Hence, I'm rocking the Love Hurts hoodie. Shout out to my guy Rashid. Rock y'all ish. Put your Philadelphia Eagles gear on. If you got a Love Hurts hoodie, wear it. If you got an Eagles hoodie, wear it. If you got a jacket, a hat, a shirt, wear it. Rep your team with pride. Yeah, it was a tough season. Yeah, we should be playing in this game. But be thankful that you saw your team win a Super Bowl and rock your Eagles gear. And don't let nobody tell you differently. We, in the words of Jalen freaking Hurts and Nick Sirianni, we'll be back. Yeah, we'll be back. I have no doubt. Remember what your quarterback said. Yeah, I saw it. We'll be back. I have no doubt. Remember what Jalen freaking Hurts and Nick Sirianni, we'll be back. I have no doubt. So my final message to y'all. Be thankful you won the Super Bowl last year. Rep your Eagles gear. Because I'm going to keep asking y'all this. I'm going to ask y'all. Before I go, are y'all wearing your Eagles gear right now? I want to see. I want to see who's wearing their gear right now. Are you wearing your Eagles gear right now? No one leave. We're not leaving. We're not ending the stream until I figure out. Are you repping your gear right now? It can't be just one person. I want to make the 34 people watching this. Are you repping your Eagles gear right now? We got one person that says yep. Are you right now repping your gear? There you go. I want to know. Because here I am. Love Hurts. I might wear the Super Bowl championship hoodie and shirt tomorrow. I might wear a Saquon Barkley hoodie tomorrow. I don't know what I'm going to wear tomorrow, but I know it'll be Eagles. Nope. Got some regular clothes on because I got baby. Yeah. But don't forget to wear your gear, man. After that. Don't forget to wear your gear after that. Yes, he does. Don't forget to rock it when you're done. Because we ain't quitting. We ain't waving the white flag. Yeah, we in Cancun. Yeah, the Rams and the Seahawks are going to be battling it out for a spot in the Super Bowl. I'm still going to rock my gear. I'm still going to say go Birds. I'm still going to say go Birds the kid. I'm still going to say fly Eagles fly. I'm still going to say Jalen Hurts. Rep y'all gear. Rep your gear. So I rambled long enough. Damn right. Exactly. But we don't make excuses on here like they do with their Josh Allen love. So, guys, we will be back next week talking more Birds. Please subscribe to the Birds of Ball Street YouTube channel if you're entertained. Trust me, we'll get the crew back. Smitty's got a job. Trey got the kids. Moan's the hardest working woman in sports. And your boy, you know what I be doing. But still subscribe to all the channels, man. Support the fam. All right? Even if they ain't here. They're here in spirit. All right? So until next week, it's fly Eagles fly. Let's go Birds, kid. And whether it's the thrill of victory or the agony of defeat, you're always welcome to Broad Street. Rep your gear, Eagles Nation. Rep your gear. It's time to turn out the lights. The party's over.